Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Make Happiness podcast. I'm your host, Ian Price.
I'm your co-host, Eli Prescott.
I'm Cadriel Menendez. I'm the Argentine chef and founder of Nativo Condiments and Seasonings.
And he's going to be our guest today on the 20th episode, and this is a very special episode because he's on vacation. He actually lives in Maryland, and he's just here for like 4 days or something, so I'm really excited to sit down and talk with you about your whole kind of journey of what you've been doing. So let's dive straight into it. You have the spice brand Nativo?
Yes.
And why did you decide to start a spice brand?
Spice brand. Well, let's say then spices are the soul of the food, right? So I noticed that people here, they are not putting attention to food, or they are not cooking anymore. So and they think is because they get frustrated. They get frustrated about like, oh, I do this and that didn't taste good, so like they stop practicing.
Okay.
So I try to put this spice blend together so people, whatever you put on top of them, they will taste good. So
sure.
Whatever you do the normal cooking, like roasted in the oven or like crock pot or whatever, you put this kind of blends of spices on whatever you want, and they will taste good. So you will feel motivated to keep cooking and to keep eat healthier. Healthier and cook at home. And like, I grow up with family that the lunch and dinner, it is really important. So it is the time to family. It's the time to sit down and share half an hour, 45 minutes with your family and eat. So I think that in here United States you start to lose that. With TV or social media or whatever, it is like, oh, let's go to the restaurant and eat something, be in our phones, and that's it. So we're losing that here.
Perhaps fast food or something has to do with that. Just kind of it takes away from the time of being.
I think here people want to be more, how do you say, don't waste time. I want to be more efficient, and they lose quality time.
So what is what's behind the brand? Why are you making spices? Just to help kind of make people cook at home more and kind of have that quality time? That's like why you're doing it?
That's the primary goal, that people to and eat healthier. Spices are like natural medicine, whatever. If you have cumin or turmeric or oregano and basil, and all these have a really good impact in your health. So whatever you put into your food, the food is natural medicine. So if you eat healthy, you are healthy and you are happy. I mean, you become a happy person. You can go and do sports. You feel good about yourself. You
more
look
energy.
Better.
Yeah. What? How many different spices do you have right now?
Well, right now we are 6 different, and they're all based in Argentinian cuisine. But the goal is, I travel a lot for work and for passion. And always become with new flavors and new things, so people share with me their own flavors.
Oh, cool.
So I always keep it in my mind, and I want to bring that to your guy, like every house around United States and everyone in the world in the future. But that's the goal. So like, for example, I went to Thailand and I fall in love with how they season over there, and so I want to do like a spice blend of Thailand, right?
Oh, cool.
So whatever you cook, like if you have the taco seasoning, well, I want to do a Mexico, I want to do Thailand, and so on.
Go to the different areas and actually explore what they have and that kind of thing, and learn more about
and why they eat that way, and why this is the how I think and how I cook and why they cook that way. It is because it's what they have in their own environment, and their master those techniques. So why not to share with the rest of the world?
Right.
Have you found that that sort of family traditional thing is in any other countries that you've been to, like Thailand, as you were saying?
One more time.
Like, have you found that you're saying where you're from, it's like sitting down and eating together as a family is like a very traditional thing.
Yes.
It's something that's like, what's the word?
Brings quality or meaning.
more quality.
Yes.
More quality to it. Have you found that in other countries as well?
I found the food make people happy. That's it.
Yeah.
They sit down and share a meal, whatever the side is. If you go to Arabic country and everyone sit down, or India, they sit down around a big bowl of rice with curry or whatever on top, and then everyone eat with their hands, and they share a plate, they share the moment, they share the food.
Yeah.
So it's totally different than go to McDonald's, eating in the way to your work, because you don't want to spend time or
don't want to waste any time.
Yeah, it's like that's no right. And if you actually take your time to eat and relax, we take naps after eat, right? Because that makes you more relaxed, more, it's another way to release stress, and you have another quality life, right?
Yeah. So have you been cooking and kind of being in your entire life? Or
Yes.
Okay.
I'm 31 now. I have 16 years in the kitchen.
Wow.
So I have more time in the kitchen than in my life. So from the 14 years old, I start to cook.
Wow. Were you a chef for a long time, or?
Yeah, for 16 years from now. I mean, professionally.
Yeah.
I started 14 years old. I started food truck.
Okay.
Cleaning and doing, dishes and peeling potatoes, lettuce and all that. Then jump into restaurant, banquet company first, and then French restaurant, and then Italian restaurant, and then Argentinian restaurant in the south of Argentina, in Patagonia. Then come back to Mendoza. I won a tournament called the Buscando el Menú Argentino, that actually means searching for the Argentine menu. Okay. And I won that tournament, and I was 21 years old.
Wow.
Very cool.
Exactly. So that was really I was in the peak.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's like, really?
Yeah.
That's it? That's too easy. So I put everything in my backpack, and it's like I want to travel. The goal was to go around South America with my backpack and my best friend, and well, we couldn't do that, but my brother was moving here to Minnesota to study in the University of Minnesota.
Okay.
And he told me come here, study English. So I did that, and I came here for 6 months, learn English, and that opened a lot of other doors. I found a job in Dominican Republic. I was living there for a year and a half, and then I went to I found a job in the tallest restaurant in the world, in the Burj Khalifa in Dubai.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was working there too, totally different environment, 23 different how you say, I forget the word.
Oh, no worries.
23 different nationality of chef.
Oh,
so
okay.
from around the world. So
Very
everyone,
diverse,
Italian, French, Argentinian, Chinese, Sri Lankan, all over, and everyone has something to bring to the table. And that was amazing. I learned a lot. I was fine dining, and I fell in love with the fine dining life and experience. That was really cool.
So where does it all kind of stem from? You said you've been doing it for 16 years. So when you were 15, what kind of made the jump into the decision of I want to do food
I want to
work,
be
and be involved with preparing food, or
I want to be a chef? Well, I always like to cook. That's one thing that, my grandma was Italian. My other grandma was from Spain, right? So always when I go to my Spain grandma, she have arroz con leche, rice pudding just made for us, and in the cooler with cinnamon on top or whatever. So you are you go to my grandma to have the best rice pudding. Yeah. And then I went to my other grandma, the Italian one, then every Sunday she roll pasta, and you are there, helping her. I was helping her all the time. But what actually bring my attention was when I was 8 years old, and I have a cousin, then she make me my favorite dessert every time that I have a really good grade in school. So that was the excuse, right? And and then she was I wasn't reaching the table, so she bring a little stool, so I was on top of that, cooking with her and doing all that. My favorite dessert is oatmeal with chocolate and crackers. It's a really simple thing, but when you are 8 years old, it's the
fun.
best.
It doesn't really matter at that point.
So that's what I've been and everyone is happy around food again. So it's like, why do don't keep that? And then I learned how to be a professional and how to make people happy.
Yeah.
And like if you put food on the table, like everyone starts to smile, everyone will become more relaxed, everyone is like enjoy the time.
Yeah.
So
when you were traveling in your 20s, you kind of going around to all these different places and learning more about all these different cultures and food and all these things, when did you want to decide I'm going to do a spice business? When did that come into play?
Actually didn't come until like a couple years ago when I was like sitting down. It's like actually my mom was calling me all the time like, oh, I have this chicken and I don't know how to season it. Oh, I have this piece of meat, I don't know what to put in it, I don't want to screw it up, I want to. So it's like, okay, I know I'm working, like what do you need?
Right.
So she opened the cabinets, like, what do you have? Oh, I have fennel, oh, I have onions, oh, I have garlic, oh, I could put that one. Okay, how much? It's like, oh, I don't know, just put a tablespoon of this, tablespoon of that, like go and try, like experiment.
Yeah, it's kind of whatever tastes good, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like imagine, smell, like and put it together, like how I do, like.
Is that how you learned it?
Yeah.
You just kind of feel it?
Exactly.
Just,
You go and try, you make mistake, this doesn't work, let's do it again, and keep it try until you master the skills. So what I did is like, okay, I would have put a mix together for you so you don't call me anymore. So like just at least for that, like don't call me every time that you are cooking because I'm busy. I'm actually cooking. I need to, I have like 14 people behind me, under me that I need to control. I don't have time to giving you instruction by the phone. So that was a couple years ago. Then I figured then I can help this problem that I see in society that they're putting food to like a second thing. It's not important anymore. Like cooking is not important anymore. It's actually a skill that you keep eating whatever you want. I mean, you keep eating burgers from your like, oh, because I'm in school. Okay, go to McDonald's and eat a burger every day. It's cheaper, faster, whatever. But your body will keep using your resources, your vitamins, your minerals, like whatever you need, right? And how long you can live that way? 34, 40 years, 50, and then you have a heart attack, you are overweight, you're like you should put food is the most important part.
I think too, you brought up a point, like when you're going to fast food and doing stuff like that and getting food because it's easy, not because it takes time and patience to actually make a good meal. You learn a lot of values too, like what works, what doesn't work, and how things taste, how to prepare it, and how to cook things well, like over the grill or whatever. But that's really interesting. I mean, you have cooking books now, you have YouTube, you have you put whatever how to do a chicken, and it is there. So just a little bit more time and a little bit more passion and actually enjoy. It's like for me is I have a stressful day at work and I don't want to work anymore in the computer or manage people. I jump into the kitchen and I cook something, and that actually relaxes me. It's not stressful for me like cooking. So that's kind of an outlet for you sometimes.
Exactly. Even if it's my work, it's actually I'm doing something with my hands. I feel like skillful, and I can cook this, and in the end I can sit down and enjoy my meal.
I think a lot of people would be jealous of that. Just like to be able to have work also be your passion that you love doing, to basically to go to work and calm down essentially.
It's therapeutic.
How do you handle kind of when you get into those situations? Because I know some people, when they're under tremendous amounts of stress and there's there's deadlines or whatever, and there's things they need to respond to or communicate with, how do you kind of overcome those or figure out a solution?
Oof, that's a tough one. Well, I try to understand first, like trying to understand the situation. Like I breathe a couple times, and I make a lot of mistakes. All the mistakes, teach you something. It is not, you don't figure it out at once. You will figure it out slowly. Oh, I make mistake. I didn't talk to her, or I didn't talk to him really well. I didn't handle that situation really well, and you receive complaints. The HR call you, say, hey, you can't treat people like that.
Yeah.
But and then you become like I don't know, like a psychoanalyst. You need to understand then like why you act that way, and like come here and let's sit down, let's talk. Like what happened, why you did this way. That this one can't be this way. Like for example, I don't know, they burn the entire party. They burn the meat for that. Like what happened? And you don't have time to give a shit or like talk about it. It's
right.
like,
it's just this
Ron,
what happened.
yeah, just what happened. Just fix it. Let's fix it first, and then we sit down and what happened. Oh, I went to the bathroom, whatever. Like why? Why you didn't tell anyone? Why you didn't put timer on it or something? And it's one of the example that I can say right now. But
yeah,
it is a tough question.
Yeah, I can imagine. I wanted to transition a little bit into happiness, and just because it's a happiness podcast, obviously we got to talk about that. How do you think when someone is trying to find, their passion, like cooking or whatever it is, how would you direct someone to get to that level of going all in like you did at 15 or, these past 16 years?
Yeah. Well, again, it's like you find yourself doing something, and then when you see your reflection somewhere and you're smiling, I burn myself. Oh, fuck. But it is okay,
right.
Like I'm learning. I'm learning a skill. I master my things, and I'm really interested. I want to be. For example, me is like I want to be the best. So I like to do this, and I like to perfect myself, and I put attention to it, and I study, and you're like. It is because I like it, because it's, and so, again, to tell someone to do what they are passionate, it is tough too, because, it's a risk. Your father is telling you be a lawyer, and you like to build bikes, that's tough, right?
Yeah.
Because with lawyer, maybe you can make a lot of money, but your passion is in bikes. Maybe you can be a lawyer, and the weekends you can have your passion, or in one day, you flip over. I'm retired for be a lawyer, and now I'm full time doing bikes. In my case, for example, I'm a chef. I always be a chef. I always in the kitchen, and now I'm getting like, I won't say tired, but it is a lot of time consuming, and it's a lot of time and pressure and everything, and I wanna like kind of like a break right now. So I found my company of spices that is maybe like escape of being in the kitchen all the time, but doesn't mean that I'm not passionate about food. So the other company will like label or like establish or like
help you take back and relax a little bit more from everything else.
At least a break to keep going stronger. My goal in the end is to have my own restaurant, and that's 24 hours job. So I need a lot of energy for that.
Well, I'm sure this is helping you, though, working in so many different areas and getting this much experience. When you get to that level, it's going to be a piece of cake, because you've been through every senorio.
Exactly. I'm learning. I'm learning from every single angle that I can, like as a businessman, as a chef, for example, like administration and marketing, and all these angles I'm seeing in this company will help me a lot with my restaurant someday. So every single skill that you learn will be useful in the end.
Have you had mentors over the years, as people who have sort of guided you along the way as sort of a leader?
Well, I have many. I mean, one of them is my godfather. He taught me from the beginning. He bring me to the farm, and we butcher, and he was from Italy and Spain too. So he teach me how to do all this food, like ham, like prosciutto and chorizo and blood sausage and all that things, delicious things. Also, through my career, I have so many chefs that I learn a little bit of from each.
Mhm.
A little, like, oh, this guy is great cook, so I learned that. And then I have another one that, this guy is great in numbers, and he's great in food costs, and he's great in administration, so I learned that. And then the other guy is like great for schedule, and know how to manage people, how to control people, how to talk to people, like, and you're learning. Like, I don't have a specific one, because through my career of 16 years I working for like at least 10 different kitchens, you know.
Wow.
So
you all take bits from every one of them and kind of make your own thing.
Exactly, and become me, part of my strategy of working, or like my mindset, set mind. Sorry.
No, yeah. That's really interesting. I definitely have noticed that people who, are trying to do something, it really helps to have not even necessarily someone to look up to, but someone to, like, I guess, model after. If they're like, if you see someone doing something that you want to do, you kind of copy what they're doing, so you can at least start in that direction and get, to that same area that they're at.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's exactly right. I have chefs, and they taught me how to do fine dining, right? And I have people that taught me how to do like traditional Argentinian food. So I have chefs, and I learn from both of them, and I can see, the different, they have somebody else also, then they learn from that, and then they put their own ideas in place. So you take that as a base.
Oh yeah.
And then you grow your own things.
Have you noticed yourself after, I guess, where you are in the past couple of years, being a mentor for other people?
I don't see that things that way, but I see myself getting better and better every year. Like, I see pictures of my dishes like a couple years ago. I was like, what I was doing,
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
That's very cool. You can see the progress of everything.
Yeah, exactly. Like, my sauce are better, my plates, are better, my decorations are better, my organizations is getting better. Even being clean and organized is really important in the kitchen. I become better and better and better, and I create systems, and I checklists and stuff like that, and I never used before, but I learned from somebody else.
Yeah, I wanted to switch gears a little bit and talk about the farmers market that you're at. I always see on your Instagram stories.
Yeah.
How is that going for you? Like, how did you get into that?
Well, that is actually my CEO over there. She's great to find me places to go. I'm in farmer market from Wednesday through Sunday. And we overlap sometimes, so we finish in one place and we run to the second place or the third place.
Wow.
Yeah, we do farmer markets, we do private events, we do private events and festivals, like wine festival, veggie festivals, whatever is related to food.
Crazy.
Or craft. We are in, yeah.
That's really cool. What do you like doing more? Do you like doing the festivals and events, or do you like the kind of smaller stuff like the farmers markets?
Well, farmer market are great because you meet a lot of new like small business, and you create like I create like a community. So I get the vegetable from that guy, I get the meat from that guy, I get the rabbit from that guy, and I make my own private dinners, and I help them to grow their own business too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. And then you go to different farmer market, and they go to other different farmer markets, so you become a friends to all these entrepreneurs or small business guys. Yeah.
That's really cool. Do you what was the biggest thing that you've learned over the past 2 years of like growing your own business and learning the ropes of everything? What's the biggest challenge that you've had to overcome?
That is not easy.
Okay, like top 3 or the ones that off your head.
Marketing is really tough. Reach people is tough, and make people try new things, it is really tough. So for example, my spices is not like this is a beer, let's try. No, I have to explain what I do. I have to explain why I mix it this way, and I have to explain. Then I'll teach them how to use my product. So that's a really time consuming. Like I need 5 minutes with you to talk about my products and how you can use them, so you get hooked and then try at least one. And then if you try one, I know that you will come back because they're really good.
They're that good. Yeah.
They are. That's really cool. Do you think has it gotten easier over time, like learning how to market or talk to people or like do the sales pitch kind of thing? Is that getting easier?
Yes, yeah, because you start to realize, the face expression or the what they are interested for or what question ask. Like for example, I used to like start to talk like, hey, I have this one, it's great for that, and then like, and this is great for beef, this is great for lamb, this is great for venison, and it's like, oh, I'm vegan. It's like, oh man, let's rewire. So now it's like, okay, what do you like to cook? What do you like to eat? That I start with those questions. I like vegetables, I like seafood. I like, okay, this is my recommendation. But also you can use this one and that one, and they ask the people what they want or what they need, and offer them a solution. I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, I know. My brother said that your spices are they're designed for certain like types of food, but you can use them on all of them, and they still taste.
They're really versatile. For my recommendation is to use it for, like, for example, Patagonia mix. It is great for lamb, pork, venison, but it's also great for eggplants. It's great for vegetables. It's great for stew, beef, and so on. So again, that's my recommendation. Doesn't mean that you can use it in other dishes.
Have you found that, say I were to say like, this is what I'm looking for, have you ever found yourself saying, oh, that would be a good idea to design something after what they're looking for? Like, have you had, like, say a customer or someone say, this is what I'm looking for, you not having had that before, and then kind of making it?
Yes. Yeah, actually, okay. I have a lot of customers and come to me and say like, oh, I can't have salt, or I can't have spicy, or I just need you to make me something like that, and we do that as a courtesy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really nice. But they will have clients like that too.
Okay.
Chili Bravo.
Yeah. So she just reminded me. Chili Mi Bravo, for example, is one of these the mix that everyone was asking me for. Like, Argentina, we don't eat that spicy. We give some heat to it, but we don't eat spicy. And everyone in my where I live is like, oh, I like something spicy, and I like something spicy, and I said, okay, let's do something spicy. Okay. And I make the most traditional mix they call chimichurri. Okay. And it's a traditional dipping sauce, right? Like with a mix of herbs and garlic and onion and garlic and salt and pepper. We put vinegar and oil, and it's delicious for fish or meat or just bread. So I make another one they call Chimi Bravo, so that means spicy.
Okay.
And that one actually is the same of the other one, but with 3 different chilies. So it is sweet and spicy and really cool, and they don't have any sugar on it. They don't have any colorant. They don't have anything, so they're natural, and it's delicious. And that now is selling like really, really well.
Have you been getting better at spicy foods, or do you like spicy foods?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm getting better with the years. Like, I fall in love in Thailand, for example, with the spicy, with the heat to it. I fall in love there because they know how to make it. Yeah, spicy. So you also have sweet, salty. You have the umami flavors, right? You have the sweet, salty, sour, spicy. All these mixed together. Then they become addicted. It is hard, but you can't stop eating it. It's amazing.
Because it has a lot of heat and flavor to it. It's not just hot.
Exactly. It's not like burn your face and your tongue get numb and that you don't feel anything else. Yeah.
Very cool. Let's see. I wanted to. There's something I was going to mention, but I forgot because we started talking about other things.
We can keep going. I mean, it's fine.
Well, when Eli mentioned talking about like coming up with a spice off of a customer, do you have anything or any spices or ideas that you've wanted to do but you can't just because you don't have the resources yet, or like things you want to try? Okay.
Yes. I have some ideas in mind. For example, I wanted to do is another technique that we do in Argentina, that is cook the entire animals on top of the fire, right? They call that al asador. gaucho style, and we season the entire piece of meat with water and salt and herbs.
Okay.
So I want to do that, but I'm not able to do it yet because I need to get a deal with a company that can
do it and
put all the in bottles and label the bottles and everything for me. But that's one of the products I wanna put there.
And when you're selling your packages and everything, do you do it all by hand yourself, or how
Yes.
does? Okay.
They're on handcraft and weekly made, so
Wow.
we do small batches. Yeah.
So they're all very fresh then too, if you're doing them weekly.
That that controls the quality of the product. Yeah. When we become bigger, obviously we will have a bigger machines and a lot of people that do that.
Do you ever notice, or when some batches might have, are they different every time, or are they the same one every time? Is it pretty precise for every week?
I have a recipe, we follow the recipe. Sometimes we don't get the same paprika, so the color change, but the flavor doesn't change.
Okay.
Right, but for example, we're trying to keep consistency, and that is with the recipe.
Have you ever, when you're messing around with spices or trying something new, do you ever have a mistake and then have it turn into something really good later on?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I have so many small, bunches of something that's supposed to be something good, and to become with the recipe, I was researching for a year.
Wow.
Trying different herbs and where to get the products and how to get 25 pounds of oregano, 25 pounds of parsley, and be consistent. So every time I will get the same one. That was the really tough part.
Yeah, that sounds insane.
Yeah. So it's
crazy. What has been your favorite thing about kind of this whole journey of starting your own business and growing this direction versus just working in the industry of a chef for restaurants?
Well, it's less slavery, let's say. Yeah, it's okay. I control my own times. I control my own schedule. I wake up early regardless, but I can, have more flexibility. I can do that tomorrow. I can, than in the kitchen, you are 16 hours a day, 16 hours a day. Then it is, you have to be there. So in this business, no, you just, the production, do some numbers, and then you go out and sell, and these 4 hours in the farmer market, right? And then you're done. I mean, you don't have nothing else to do except do some marketing, do some emails, so people reach
make
to
orders.
you. Exactly, make orders. So I do my own recipes. I have recipes in my website, so it's a weekly recipe. I do my own dishes. I do so I have to take the pictures. I have to upload it to the website, do the recipe, and I have a recipe of the week, so people there sign up for the recipe of the week, and then we send some deals to them.
Very cool.
Yeah, slowly I learning something new. Then we could improve here, or we can do this one a little bit different, or we need to be better in this and promoting or marketing or yeah.
Do you enjoy doing all those things, having all of that chaos?
Yeah. It is. I mean,
Good.
I have to schedule myself. I have to put Monday I will do that something, Tuesday will be the other things,
yes,
because otherwise I have so many things to do
you
that
forget one.
I can't do everything at once, so I need to pace myself. And Monday I do numbers and emails and stuff like that. Tuesday I do something different, or the recipes, and Wednesday we start again with all the markets, so we need to be ready for production, making bags, and
I thought this just made me think of it. It sounds like you're very, we were talking about earlier, you got to be aware of time. You want everything so quick.
Yep.
Sounds like your time is very scarce and you have very small time, but yet you still, make these really great meals and make that a point of your day. How do is that just because that's something you enjoy, or do you have to make time to cook or make time to meal, or is that just kind of second nature for you?
It is second nature. I mean, I enjoy to cook, and every time when I'm in the kitchen, I prepare, meals. I do 2 chickens at the time. So I want to be more proactive. So I put what I don't do is lunch. So Mondays, for example, I cook, I do recipes or whatever, or Tuesday, and I cook for 3 days.
Yeah.
You know, so I have lunch for my wife and for myself for 3 or 4 days or for the week.
Yeah.
And I cook some rice, I cook some pasta, I cook some broccoli or like vegetables and protein, and put everything in containers and dinners. Yeah, with dinners we trying to do dinners every day. And sit down and enjoy dinner at least.
This is a question more so because I'm curious what your recommendations are. What kind of meal would you ask for someone who, let's say you don't have a lot of money to go out and buy a lot of these resources, but you still want to have some, like good meal, or you want to cook a little bit? What's an easy kind of way to get into cooking, or simple, recipes or things that you can do to start getting into this a little bit more,
healthy life?
Yeah.
So simple: vegetables, rice, pasta. They're the easy way. Now, if you wanna protein, you can do chicken. That is the cheapest one, and then a little bit of beef, and then fish. But I will start with vegetables. Like saute vegetables, steam vegetables, do some stews, stuff like that. Then is healthier. Like a cup of wild rice a day.
Yeah.
With topping vegetables is delicious, and you can eat that for lunch. Salads, they're so easy. Lettuce, tomato, onions, some cheese on top. Done.
Yeah. And those are all very cheap too. I mean, you don't have to buy all the farmers market stuff or the whole food stuff where they're really overpriced to get the natural things. But
yeah, definitely.
Cool. I was trying to think of anything. Now I'm just hungry. I'm thinking about food. I don't know.
That's my job.
Yeah.
Make you hungry.
Eli, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I was going to ask about sort of self-management a little bit. Like, how do you sort of manage your life in sort of a vague questions? How do you sort of put things together? Like when you wait, like what's your average kind of day like?
Oof. Well, I wake up. Yeah, that's her over there. She managed my schedule. She put we share a Google Calendar,
okay,
right? And then she put all my the meetings or the events that is happen in the entire month or 2 months, and and we go from there. Then I'm adjusting. Like Mondays, I have these meetings. I have this to do. I do a lot of to-do list.
You're right. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So time management. I sit down in the morning and I write down my to-do list, and then in the end of the day, I cross whatever I could, and then writing down the new one for next day if you can. And the night is perfect because you're already mentally prepared for next day.
Okay.
I do that in the morning, drinking my coffee, or I have to do this and this and this and this and that.
Do you find that sort of alleviates stress a little bit more? Just knowing what you have to do, and then having the list sort of visually seeing that it's gone, or you still have that to do.
Yeah, and then you can put a number, right? Like this is priority number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If I do these 5 things, I will feel accomplished on the day, right? Like wash my car, cut the grass, like whatever you need to do around the house, laundry, whatever.
Yeah.
I do that. I put everything in paper. I need to give a shower to my dog. Like everything is there.
Yeah.
So if I accomplish at least 5 of these things, I will be happy today. I will sleep like I did something today. Yeah.
Nice. Yep.
Yeah. So that's the way. Like again, I trying to do, for example, every day is different. It's again, you control your own schedule. So, but I wake up. She wake up 5:30 in the morning. I wake up as soon as she left, like 6 a.m. I'm up. Drink my coffee. They give me like 20 minutes to adjust.
Yeah.
Sit down, write my to-do list, and I start my day. If I need to do production, I start with production. If I finish my week on Sunday, Monday is my Sunday basically.
Okay.
So, but I still working. I do my numbers. I do emails. I do apply to emails and try to put everything together for the week. What else? I do production. I have to do bags. Label bags. I have to do bunches of spices and bagging them, seal them, put it back in the shelf. I also
I wanted to ask you, do you write stuff down on paper or do you use your phone for writing your to-do list down and keeping or managing your time?
I do paper.
Paper?
Yes.
Do you think that works better, or you get mentally it's easier to get things done, or do you think it's more motivating to actually write it down?
I like the paper because the paper is there. It's not an app that you can close.
Yeah.
So the paper is on top of the table, and it's like, I have to do that one.
Like
I
it
forgot.
can't go away. It's right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then in the end of the day, it's so pleasant, to roll over and toast it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is so good. Feels really good.
I moved because I have a question.
Sure.
I know we typically have a full schedule, and even if it's a day off, for us, there's always something that's business or house or whatever. And I think when you talk about that, it's sort of intimidating or like distancing from other people. So people are like, oh, well, I can't be so busy like that. Or like some people aren't as sort of like productively minded as you might be. So I think it's important to talk about like, how do you deal with burnout when you feel like you are overwhelmed and you sort of don't know what to do, and how do you sort of handle that and then come back to a place where you can sort of start over and then go back and be happy with your work again and feel productive and find joy in what you're doing?
Well, I like to go for a run. I go for a run every other day.
Well, for people that don't like to go for a run.
I manage my stress on my burnout as a workout. I do gym, or I do I go for a run.
You don't cook?
I don't cook. No, not that day. I'm trying to like take a break.
Yeah.
And then come back to it. But yeah, everyone needs that. Like, I'm connected 24/7. I'm a personality that I'm on or off.
So when you're doing physical activity, that's kind of how you clear your head. You like reset yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about my workout. I'm thinking about I have to be running now.
Yeah.
I have to listen my music and go for a run.
Yeah.
No, then I have to send an email and then I have to do more production, or I have to answer that person. I forgot to call the. No, I'm running. It's like half an hour, and then half an hour is allowed. It's like meditating. Like you sit down there, concentrate on your breathing.
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
That's kind of what I use my biking for, because I bike.
Exactly.
I bike to school, I bike to work.
Yeah.
Like that time when I'm riding my bike is that same thing for me. It's just like to reorganize yourself and like be in that moment and forget about all the other stressors and all the other things that you have to do in the day.
Exactly. Yeah. Go away.
Right. Cool.
Excellent.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we covered a lot of stuff in this podcast. I'm
Really?
super excited.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
45 minutes.
45.
Pretty- yeah.
We can keep going.
Went
if
by
you want.
quick. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know if I have any other specific questions. We did cover a lot in that 45 minutes. Do you have anything you wanted to talk about? Like ask us or...
Actually, what I can tell you guys. How do you feel about the podcast?
About what?
About this podcast?
About the podcast?
I don't talk English anymore. I speak Spanish, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No kidding.
You can feel my accent. So.
Yeah. The podcast, I like it. I remember saying in one of the other podcasts we've done about 20 of these. This is, I think, number 20. I remember saying to Ian, I think he asked me, like, what's one thing you don't go a day without doing, is like listening to other people kind of talk about their own lives. And this is sort of a way that I can do that again without, having other time dedicated to that, is being able to listen to the diverse group of people sometimes that come in and tell stories about who they are and where they come from and all that.
So you're happy with it.
Yeah,
Cool.
I like doing this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been really fun kind of seeing the whole progression of everything, like you were talking about earlier, like watching it grow from episode 1 to where we are now. Like we were so disorganized and really awkward and talking, and like
you're learning how you do it.
Yeah. Because when Ian first approached me, or I can't remember how we kind of started talking about wanting to do a podcast. I think he was just
I
like,
don't remember,
something like that. Like, hey, I wanted to record some make happiness related things or something like that. And so I just brought all my gear over and we talked for, I don't know, half an hour maybe, and then it progressively got longer because we got a little bit better at it, and it's
practice and practice.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the only goal. I mean, the only way to make a master of the skills is just practicing.
So, and maybe that might be, what is your one piece of advice you'd give to someone listening to right now, who, you know, what if they want to pursue that passion, they want to go all in, you know, but they're scared of the risk, or they're afraid of the failure. What are you going to say to them?
Well, I will say something in Spanish. This, el que no arriesga, no gana. If you don't risk, you won't gain. I mean, it is like that. So, again, you can start like doing your passion in the weekends, you know, and then go on from there, like where, you know, this passion will bring you, like, and then you meet some people, you get more opportunities, and then you're still developing, you know, your way to your goal. That's my only, I always was like, I don't know, I'm always, you know, like, put my mind to something and go for it. I don't hesitate. You know,
you're all in.
Oh yeah, it is not easy. I know it's not easy. I mean, nobody will come and, you know, knock your door and say like, there we go, that's your goal and that's your dream. That's all for you. Like, no, you have to work. There is no, I mean, the American dream is work hard to get what you want. Nobody will come and give you anything.
I've learned too, like after doing the Make Happiness for a year now, like the process of working and learning and kind of growing your own thing is almost more fun than the goal, you know, in some ways. I really like the learning and that.
I have to sit down sometimes and think where I come from and where I am today to be proud of myself, because it is really hard, the daily problems to, you know, beat you down and, you know, like put you in the like depression mode. It's like, I'm 30, I'm now 31, I want to have my restaurant for like already 5 years, and it's not how I plan it, but you know, my future bring me to different ways and different, I'm not in Argentina anymore, I'm not in Mendoza anymore. I'm in other country and living other cultures and learning other language, you know, like it is.
That's a pretty big feat. If I like someone who's never left the country at all, and to like move somewhere to learn the language and adapt to their sort of culture, and then go to other countries, work there, and sort of adapt to their culture and bring it all into cooking. That's really that's impressive, and I applaud you for that.
Yeah, that's not easy. No, it's not easy at all to live in different culture and different country. It is not. So it's but in the end, you become rich, you know, rich in knowledge, rich in, you know, stories and stuff like that. So you can talk to your grandkid if you want someday, or people that are interested to listen to the podcast. It's like, who is this guy? Well, you know, he did all these things, and
you just have such a wider, I don't know, awareness of life and humans and whatnot, because you've gotten to see so many different things, and you've gotten to be in so many different environments.
Yeah, and it is not such a thing that dark countries bad or wrong. It's just different, and there are so many things to share and so many things to discover. I make her like addicted to travel because we met so many kind people, you know, that they don't even speak English and they are trying to help you, and they feed you and anything, and like, it is insane. It is really, really cool.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
I have friends from, you know, Syria, Iran, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka, and everywhere, and they are so kind. They have you know, a bowl of rice, and they will share with you. They are they don't speak, you know, even the language, and they are like trying to help you out, and that's amazing. It's something that Anthony Bourdain was trying to do, and I love that guy so much. He trying to, you know, connect people, like, hey, there's nothing wrong with other cultures, nothing wrong with other countries, just go there, explore there,
Yeah,
and
like-
they will understand them.
Communication isn't just speech and language. It's
Exactly. No.
so many other actions.
Yeah, definitely.
What's been your favorite place that you've been to?
Oh man. I don't know. Depend of the food, depend
Oh,
of the
yeah,
country,
yeah.
depend of the buildings.
Let's go
depend of the
people. You know.
people.
Yeah.
The reason that I have is Thailand.
Okay.
This summer we went to Argentina. She will tell you people are great there. They want to, like cook for you, and they, that's the other thing. Through food, the culture.
Mm-hmm.
They introduce your culture, so you can say no to the food.
Yeah.
They are cooking for you. They're doing something for you. Thailand was exactly like that. That was they don't speak English, but they are always smiling. You give you like 5 cents of dollar buying something for them, and they thank you like 5 times. Like it is insane. So kind. So they call them the land of smiles because they are so kind and so nice. And I'm so surprised.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah, they're really, really happy people.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think I'm gonna wrap up the podcast because I'm getting up very early tomorrow to go.
Oops.
No, you're good. But yeah, so I wanted to thank everyone for being on the podcast or listening. I wouldn't be here without you, so I very appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you very much for listening.
Yeah.
Thank you guys
definitely.
for inviting me.
Of course.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. It was a pleasure, and this has been super fun.
Yeah. So if everyone want to reach me, they can send me an email, nativo.cs@gmail.com, or go to my website, argentinechef.com, and they can send me an email, and we can keep in touch. I can, send them some recipes or whatever they have any questions.
Yeah, well, and I'll link your website and your Instagram down below too in the
Cool.
description, so it'll be easy for people to find. So
Excellent. There we go, guys. Share
Yeah.
the podcast.
yeah, there you go. And then some plug for Make Happiness stuff. I got some new stuff that just came out. I have some more on the way that I'm very excited about, so stay tuned for those things. And then the spoken word videos are coming out fairly soon, and I'm also doing the poetry book, so that's going to be epic. But that's all I got.
Yeah, he's got new tank top, new short sleeve shirt.
Yes, sir.
What else do you have?
Well, I have a long sleeve coming out, and then I'm also working on some other stuff, but that'll be released at a later time.
Yeah.
Gotta
Nice.
keep some things a surprise.
Nice.
But yeah, so take care, everyone, and always remember to make some happiness.